Okay, this dish that I'm going to make right now is kind of a cross for a lot of different areas. It's sort of a Italy meets the Southwest, a little bit of the southern shrimp and grits thing thrown in there. What it technically is, it's polenta with Italian sausage and a red bell pepper sauce with some multicolored peppers and onions and mushrooms thrown in. It's a really good combination of flavors. But a little hard to describe. So if you're kind of a real stinker for how polenta has to be or how grits have to be, I'm sorry for the wording. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're back with a little bit of southwestern polenta Italian sausage. I know it's kind of a weird thing, but trust me, this really works pretty good. So what I'm going to start with is sauteing some vegetables. Now this is cumin, and I'm putting about, oh, that's a full tablespoon. I'm going to go a little bit more, so that'd be about 4 teaspoons, and then some oil. Got a lot to cook here, so enough to coat the bottom of the pan pretty good. Get that stirred just a little bit, and then what I'm cooking down here, starting to cook, it's going to go with my sausages, is a medley of onions, red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, orange bell peppers, and I'll put some mushrooms in toward the end. So I'm going to put these in right now and get that started, and I'll season it with it's got cumin in there, and I'm going to season it with a little smoked salt. This is chipotle style salt, which is kind of an interesting kick, and a little bit of pepper. And then I'll let that cook down, and then as soon as those get soft, I'm going to split them out, and then I'm going to cook the sausages. And when the sausages get a little color on them so that they'll hold in the casings, I'm going to take the sausages out, cut them into bite-sized bits, put them back in there, put the vegetables back in there, and finish it off in a sauce. Okay? Okay, here's where smell-o-vision really needs to kick in here, because the smell of that, those aromatics, the onions and bell peppers and mushrooms, more. It just smells so good. Anyway, they're started to really soften, even get a little brown and caramelized. So that's the point where I'm going to take them off the fire and put them in a bowl, and then I will start the sausages. Yep, just like that. Put that right back on there. I'm going to have to add just a little bit more oil, not a whole lot. And I don't want these to stick and tear too soon, otherwise they'll be all over the place. But these are Italian sausages. In this particular case, I'm using chicken just because everybody here at this household likes chicken. So these are chicken ones, but you can use the regular old pork ones if you like, or turkey ones, whatever kind of floats your boat. Okay, so I've got these sausages, and they have a little bit of color on them. I'll pull it out so you can see it. It has a little bit of color on it. They will stay in the casings now. Well, I cut them, and then I will put them cut and the vegetables back in the pan, and then I'm gonna put about half a beer, maybe even a full smaller beer. I still have half a bottle of a beer, something I used in another recipe, so I'm going to use that, and then I will let it simmer and cook down until the sausages are cooked all the way through. Then that part will be done. Well, the other part I want to do right now and to show you is the polenta. Now, right here I have 4 cups of chicken stock boiling, and to that I added 2 tablespoons or so of cumin to give it a southwestern flair. Now, there's 2 schools of thought when it comes to making polenta. Polenta really is corn mush. That's really all it is. Grits are made with white corn. Polenta is made with yellow corn. It tastes the flavor difference. But it's just corn mush. That's all that it is. Now I'm using chicken stock to give it a little bit extra kick, and I'm also using the cumin to give it some taste. Now there's a couple schools of thought on making polenta. Some believe that you need to keep stirring this, and keep stirring this, and keep stirring this, and then others believe, I think that'll do it. Let it sit now. And then I'm just going to let this sit and cook on here on medium heat, and then I'll show you in just a minute what else I'm going to add. Okay, so I have the beer in the sausages. A note on beer, okay, especially cooking over the top. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's boiling pretty rapidly. If you're concerned about alcohol, if you bring it to a boil for just a minute or two, pretty much the alcohol's gone. It needs 170 degrees for alcohol to go bye-bye, and boiling is 210, so you're 40 degrees over, and alcohol doesn't last very long. If it was something like a spirit where the alcohol content was really higher, you could light it on fire and just take the alcohol out like that. But you'd be challenged to light beer on fire. That's just the truth of it. So I'm going to take this down to a medium simmer and just let that simmer and reduce and get thick and lovely and finish. And then on this other part over here, I have this polenta, which is just boiling by itself and doing pretty good there. And now I'm going to add a little bit of the southwestern flair. This is some olives that are chopped. Right there. That in there. And then some cilantro. Now I'm going to put a little cilantro in that too, just to kind of tie the dishes together. But the rest is going to go in here. And I'll stir that together. And one final thing. Now, if you're a polenta maker or user, you're not going to like this. But if you're a grit person and you cook from the South and you like grits, or at least when they make not breakfast grits, but grits like shrimp and grits, you'll like this part. It is 8 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese. Okay, now this is not a Italian thing, it's a Southern thing, but I gotta tell you, especially with the Southwestern theme that's going on here, this right here is really, really yummy. It's tremendous, and I'm just gonna stir that in and let it cook till it's all just a melted, amalgamified, creamy mass, really. Okay, now I want to say something here about polenta. If you've never used polenta before, you can buy it in chubs, in tubes basically, and those are to this point, and then they pour it in a baking dish and stick it in the oven, in the refrigerator rather, overnight, and let it chill. And then you can cut it in squares and take it out and grill it, brush it with olive oil, get grill marks on it, put sauce on it, or you can serve it creamy like this, just a spoonful of it, and typically something like a spaghetti sauce or some substantial sauce goes over the top of it. Tonight's is going to be a Southwestern sauce, really not a tomato-y thing, but pretty full flavored nonetheless. Okay, now that's just about done, and this is going to take another few minutes. I use, for this sauce, it's a red bell pepper sauce, a roasted red bell pepper sauce. This is a red bell pepper, okay? Now, I use red bell peppers. I like yellow ones and orange ones. I don't care for green ones. Green ones tend to have a very pungent flavor, and they can very easily overwhelm a dish. There are different dishes that specifically use green bell peppers for the particular flavor they are. They're really not interchangeable. Green bell pepper is strong. Typically the colored ones like this, red, yellow, and orange, are pretty sweet. Now if you fire roast them or burn the skin off, they look like this. Now I know this looks like terrible, right? I just put it on the burner and burned it. You can do it in the broiler. It looks really nasty. It's not something you can multitask doing, so you have to kind of stand there and watch with your tongs. Once you get it looking like this, where there's no color on it, you take it under the sink and you just wash the skin off, and it looks just like this. Okay, now I'm going to take 2 of these and I'm going to put them in the blender with some sauce that I'm going to make, and that will finish off my sauce. But I just wanted to show you that this is what a fire roasted red bell pepper is. You can buy them in the store, but you can very easily do them in your own house with a burner and a pair of tongs. Okay, this is the last little bit. I spooned out all of the sausage and most of the vegetables. I left a few in here, and then I'm going to pour the leftover au jus or juice, which is really reduced beer, and the fat from the sausages, and the juice from the vegetables, and I'm going to say there's about a half a cup or so of the cooked vegetables in here, and I'm going to put that in a blender with 2 sun-dried tomatoes. No, not sorry, not sun-dried tomatoes. 2 fire-roasted bell peppers to make and finish the sauce, and I'm just going to put them in the blender. Now, when you do hot stuff in a blender, you got to watch, because when you turn it on, it wants to blow the lid on, so you have to put something over the top. And then I'm just going to... That should do it. Let's take a look here. Wow, that sauce, amazing. Okay, so we're going to do a little taste here. Needs nothing. It's perfect. Here we go. This is the cheesy polenta, and I'm just going to put a little pile over here, just like that. You can kind of see how runny that is. And then this is the sausage and bell peppers, just like that. And then I'm going to finish it with just a little bit of sauce, and we'll go just like that. And that is it. Southwestern Italian polenta extravaganza. I urge you to try it. It's an amazing flavor. And remember, your favorite flavors you have not tasted yet. If you like this and you want to see more recipes, please like my page or subscribe, whatever those things are, right down at the bottom there. Thank you very much for watching.